While the hosts of Sisters in Arms have taken every precaution to ensure that the content of this program is both current and accurate, errors can occur. The hosts assume no responsibility or liability for any errors or omission in the content of this program.
The information contained in this program is provided on an as-is basis with no guarantee of completeness or accuracy. The opinions of the guests are not necessarily the same as the hosts.
Welcome to Sisters in Arms. I'm Kerrie and Auclair.
And I'm Renee Gagne. Together we serve as a Second Amendment resource for our communities.
And today's episode, we're going to be talking about safety. Don't take a holiday.
Safety doesn't take a holiday.
Nope.
What does that look like in our everyday life?
Yeah, everyday life. And we're gonna talk about a lot of different things, but I think this episode's really important. So by the way, happy holiday, everyone. Because by the time this comes, I think it's going to be right before Christmas, maybe?
It'll go this Thursday, I believe.
Yeah, so happy holiday. And you're going to be doing a lot of shopping and a lot of different things, so pay attention. We have some really great tips.
Oh, can I tell my story?
Yes,
Before we get
you
going?
know, that actually might be a perfect intro to
Okay.
what we're going to be talking
All
about.
right. I don't know if you can see the guns we have on the table here, but let's just let everybody know that these are plastic.
They're training guns.
Plastic, no movable parts, not real, okay?
We'll
get to
explain
that
it later.
So I took my teenage daughter shopping at Target yesterday for some last minute items. And you know, teenagers are basically like this. They have their tasks, they're getting their tasks done, it's all about them and da, right?
In their
For the most
phones,
part,
not paying
right?
attention.
So I am trying to be better at my surroundings, you know, not be laser focused on what I need to do, because time is of the essence, right? We're always in a hurry. I have 10 minutes to get this done. And when we're pressed for time, we tend to be more task oriented, right? So I get out of the car, walking across the parking lot, and I see this woman come out with an elderly lady in a wheelchair. And the woman who was pushing the lady has bags and everything. The bags are fallen. The woman is practically going into the parking lot because the woman is losing control of this wheelchair, right? So I run over and I say, can I help you? The part that got me the most is so many people passed this lady.
That's the typical thing now.
And didn't help. And it was just so awful, and I'd like to not lose faith in humanity and think maybe no one saw her, but they definitely walked right by her. So it just made me think that to tailor this episode today, to think about situational awareness. We cover it all the time, but we got to keep talking about it, right? Because it's so easy just to put our blinders on and just do what we need to get done, and we're not looking at the big picture.
And ignore everyone else around you.
Yeah. So, you know, I kept thinking this woman is, you know, statistically, she could be the next person to get robbed or whatever, because everyone knows that she's struggling. Her mind is on her packages and her loved one in the wheelchair. So I stayed with the elderly lady, and she was from Florida. So she was here visiting family. So it's just one of those things, like, you know, we get caught up in everything that we're doing and we're not looking around, and she could have been in danger.
Right.
Nothing happened, obviously, and I stayed with her while she brought the car around, but it just...
And I experienced a little bit being on crutches for those amount of time, and being in a boot and just struggling with just trying to get out of the car and get in the car, and it was tough, because you don't, you know, and you hope that people are kind enough to help you out, and you know, I got a lot of people that helped, and that was nice, but sometimes situations like that where they just walk by and be like, eh.
Well, I'm going to call myself out. How about the time we were at the range and I just opened the door and you were behind me, and I just let the door shut.
Bonnie's like, Renee!
Yeah, like clueless, right? Like getting my stuff done, right? But that's
but I'm not normally hurt, so.
Right, but that's the perfect example of we're so used to doing things a certain way, and then something changes. Like now you're hurt, now you need help, but I'm not used to that, so I keep doing what I'm doing. That gets us into trouble.
Yeah.
You know, when we become robotic.
So the moral of the story is everything went well. You helped this woman. Nothing happened.
Yeah, I just was shocked that so many people just walked by this lady.
Yeah.
you know, just situational awareness.
Yeah.
I would like to think people just didn't see her.
You know, sometimes it could just be as simple as walking by and smiling at somebody. You could really make a difference, especially with this holiday season. Some people are going through a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, they may have lost a loved one. Maybe last year, this is the first Christmas without their loved one. And we need to remind each other that kindness goes a long way. And even if it's just helping somebody in a wheelchair, opening someone's door, or just giving them a smile and saying, hi, how you doing?
Right. Well, that could segue us into mental health. Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that right now real quick. So Walk the Talk America, we did a show on Walk the Talk America a long time ago. And we should really just revisit it again.
Yeah.
Because you know, this time of year really triggers people that have mental health issues.
And we do have a stat that we have, and we wanted to kind of show you. And during this time as well, you know, suicide is real, and it is a thing that we all need to focus on. And we've all known somebody who has been in a funk.
Right.
And so, yeah, you can talk about that.
So, you know, with the holidays, it's very triggering to many individuals that suffer with mental health issues. And walkthetalkamerica.org is a nationwide organization that was founded by Michael Sedini. And Walk the Talk believes that by improving the quality and availability of mental health resources to gun owners, the reduction in suicide by firearms will take place. So this is a stat from the Department of Public Health here in Massachusetts, 136 deaths by firearm in 2021, and all other methods equaled 429. So Walk the Talk America, the website is phenomenal. You can take a mental health screening for you or a loved one. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number is there. Mental health education is there. Websites, YouTube, podcast, books, all of those links are there for your viewing. There is also suicide prevention, intervention, and postvention phone numbers and websites, including veteran-specific support, plus a list of professional mental health providers.
Yeah, that's really important. We will have the lower third will have the website for the
walkthetalkamerica.org.
Yep. And I think it's crucial in this time of the year.
Yeah.
You know, we got to watch out for each other.
Right.
It's, you know, stop, like you're saying, focus on the task in front of you and kind of take a breath and look around you, because there might be somebody around you that needs help.
Right.
And they're just not saying it, but they're showing it. So crucial time right now.
Mm-hmm.
But, and so you were talking about being in Target and situational awareness. And I can't tell you how many times, you know, I teach Refuse to Be a Victim, which is all about situational awareness. And there's a lot of times where people are walking out of the store, they have like tons of bags in their hands, and I've done it a long time ago. I've done this. You know, you have tons of bags, you go into the store next door, you go to the car, you put the bags in the back of the trunk, and you hope that no one's watching you, and then you go to the other store, you come back, and you have no bags in the car. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, what do you do with that? You know, you could get in your car, move your car, pretend you're leaving, go to another spot, and then get out and go to the next store. So there's a lot of things that we can do to pay attention right now, especially right now, because this is the time that the bad guys are out there wanting to do bad things, and that's, yeah.
Shop in the daylight.
Yep, shop in the daylight.
Park near the storefront.
Yep.
Not way in the back.
Well-lit area if you can. Yeah, and just try to keep one hand available. Pepper spray, and whatever other tools you decide to use for your personal protection. Because if your hands are all full of bags, how are you going to grab what you need to protect yourself? So those are the things, but it also comes down to training and paying attention to how to use those tools.
Right, right. I think situational awareness is probably the most important thing,
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I think you mentioned something about talking about sitting in your car.
Oh, yes. So how many times do you get in the car, shut the door, maybe you lock it, maybe you don't, but I mean, all your windows are glass. If somebody really wanted to get in, right, they could probably break your window and get you, right? I mean, but you sit there, you look at your receipts, you text, you're not paying attention to anybody around you. You're just doing whatever you're doing in your car. Just get in and drive away.
Yep. And so
Right.
most of the times, I know that my old car used to have a setting where as soon as I got in the car and turned the car on, all the car doors would lock automatically. This car that I have does not. So I have to get in the habit of, as soon as I get in the car, click, I lock that. I get my belt on and I go. I don't mess around with my phone and, you know, move to another part of the parking lot if you have to, because your son's calling you or texting you, Mom, where are you? Or whatever it may be. But
Right.
I think, yeah.
What about when you leave the store and you hit the button, beep, beep? Now the bad guy knows that your car is there and you're walking to it. Like, they listen for the beeping and now they know someone's approaching
Yeah,
this
because
car.
a lot of people do that well in advance, or they get lost and like, I don't know where my car is.
Oh,
You know.
guilty, guilty.
But you don't unlock it, you use the panic button. There's a panic button on your thing.
I know, but I don't want it to. What does the panic button do?
It just
Make
goes, wee,
crazy?
wee,
Yeah, I don't want
you
that.
know, but if you have lost your car.
I don't want that. It's
But-
really bad. I look like a demented person walking around after my shift at the hospital trying to remember where I parked, right? It was a long day, and I'm...
They need to have a parking space just for you,
Yeah,
says Renee.
Yeah, I need like a clapper, you know?
That's funny. And we talk about, you know, how do you load your car? Because especially with individuals that have somebody like that elderly woman with a wheelchair, or a child in the carriage, or a baby in the carriage, do you leave your baby in the carriage, turn your back and put all the groceries in, and your baby's behind you?
How much do you love your baby?
Oh, God.
A lot.
A
You love
lot.
your baby a lot. Your
Yeah,
baby
so,
is
and
the
that's
most
the
important
perfect
thing.
opportunity for
Right.
someone to take your baby.
Right.
And believe it or not, that is real. If you don't
Right.
believe me, Google it.
Right.
But,
Right.
so those are the things. Put your baby in the car, secure them, lock the door, shut the door, then do what you got to do. But pay attention around you. Like if something don't feel right, then go back into the store. Follow those spidey instincts.
The minute you start practicing this way, it's just going to become habit, and you're
Right.
going to continue to practice like that, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, and I think that's true. In the last class that I did a class for counseling on aging, refuse to be a victim, and I said, this is what I want you to do. Next time you go to a store, pay attention to everybody that's wearing red. Pay attention the next time you go to everybody wearing white, because it makes you turn your head. You're looking around. You're paying attention. Look at people's eyes. You know, focus on that. I think also, not to bring up COVID, but I think COVID, wearing those masks for so long, it almost made it so we didn't have to interact, don't you think? We didn't have to pay attention, but the eyes did. I always paid attention to people's eyes.
Yeah.
So, but, and I think, didn't you have something else too about the exterior light in the homes?
Oh yeah, just exterior lighting. We talked about that in past episodes, just how it's a safety issue. You know, having your house illuminated exterior wise
right.
would be advantageous to your safety.
Yeah, because right now more people are doing what? They're out there shopping.
Oh yeah, so you have your Amazon packages on your porch and all the lights are out. Isn't that a perfect place for a bad guy to come and steal your packages?
Oh, I got to
It's
tell you
dark.
the story about what happened to me with an Amazon delivery guy. So normally they deliver my packages at the front door. And I have my whole entire yard is covered, is surrounded by a gate. And I have like alarms and cameras everywhere. I don't know what possessed this UPS package delivery guy to do this, but he went through the gate with a big sign that said, "Beware of dogs," went into the side gate, walked up the side of my stairs, and put the package right there. It freaked me out so much that I'm like, why did he do that?
Why didn't he just use the front door that was right next to him?
I don't know. It really, I felt so uncomfortable. I actually called Amazon and said, don't, make sure that you tell that last delivery guy, don't do that again. I have a dog, and that's what I said. I have a dog, and it says beware of dog. Not to mention that side gate, you know, I just literally walked in the door. I didn't even hear him. You know, I went into I put my stuff down. Caleb came home. He was putting his stuff down. It was a side door, you know, and I don't know where he came from. So it's you pay attention to your surroundings, but it goes to show you that something can happen so quickly that even if you are paying attention to your surroundings, you got to prepare for a situation. How can you get yourself out of the situation, or what do you do? You know, and then in that case, I called UPS right away, and I'm like, by the way, no. So I don't know if that poor guy had packages stolen before on him, and he was just trying to be a nice person. I don't know.
And now you're getting him fired.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So I really want a drink of my water, but I would have to like muzzle my own hand to get a drink.
Oh, so why don't we talk about that? So this time of the year is also a good time for New Year's resolutions. I hate saying that because I'm not one to like have one. I always have goals throughout the year. I don't have one, you know, like I'm going to lose weight. I have many different goals that I want to achieve. One being this show. We're in our second season. This is crazy. But I also think this is a good time really to take a breath and say, okay, I am a firearm owner and I need some more training. This is, you know, if you have loved ones, a husband, a significant other, tell them, hint, hint, I'd like to get a gift certificate from a firearm school or a firearm instructor so I can get some one-on-one training. You know, I think you mentioned that before too, and the different organizations.
Yeah, definitely. USCCA goal, if you're here in Massachusetts, Gun Owners Action League, I'm a huge advocate for them. And no, I don't get paid to say that. I wish I did. But no, just seriously, joining an organization is just like that with anything. You know, if you're a hunter, you join organizations to support you with hunting.
Yep.
Or
and there are nonprofit
whatever.
organizations, just so you know, they all are nonprofit. So yeah, I think that's huge too. And education, key to safety.
Yeah, so we brought some blue guns here today.
They're so much fun.
These are our training guns.
I'm gonna
we
move
can't bring real guns here into the studio, so this is the best that we can do. But, you know, a picture goes a long way, and practice and seeing this in our hands hopefully will help somebody and keep people safe. We spend a lot of time at the range helping people, and we see a lot of things, a lot of good things and a lot of things that are not the best. So we're going to talk about some of those things that aren't the best, and we're going to come up with ways to make them better. Lots of times when we teach somebody something super simple, super basic, they say, oh wow, I never thought of it that way, and then they start doing it, and it's like the light bulb goes off in their head or goes on in their head. You know?
And I think, you know, us teaching for the past, 6 years with the shooting chapter that we run, I think we've learned a lot of different things too, because I feel as though as we meet each student, we realize that their needs are different and the way they understand certain things are different as well. So somebody might not understand what certain terms mean, and so I think it's given us an opportunity to learn and become better instructors. And because moms are moms, right, we come up with these little terms, these different sayings like no crisscross applesauce when you're shooting a revolver.
Right.
Right. Make a gun, take a gun, you know.
Oh, let's talk about make a gun, take a gun.
Yeah.
Can we start there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so one of the safety rules, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, until your sights are on target and you're ready to shoot, right? Keep your finger off the trigger. So lots of times The problem starts in the way that the gun is picked up. Right away, it's picked up, and the finger that's meant to grab things goes into the trigger guard, and it just is on the trigger.
Yep.
If you don't correct that right away, that's going to be a problem for you forever. You have to be cognizant of your finger placement. Absolutely, 100% of the time. Safety doesn't take a holiday,
Hey,
right?
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm going to pick up my blue gun here. Kim, can I? Okay, so let's see. Let me see. Okay, that's good. So this is my safe direction, right? So when it's down on the table, I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to make a gun, and I'm going to pick it up this way. Do you see what I did? So now my trigger finger is on the frame of the gun.
Yep.
This is basic stuff,
It
and I'm
is.
sure people are watching this going, oh, please, I already know this. But there are a lot of people out there that are brand new, and that's what this show is for
And
today.
if you notice, and another thing that I add to this too, is I say find that trigger finger, it's home base. And some
Oh,
firearms,
I feel it right
yes,
here.
some firearms actually have a
little indent.
or
Yeah.
a little groove on the side where when you make a gun, take a gun, it's your home base. And if it doesn't, I always remind them that's your home base until till you're ready to hit that bat, which is you're on target and you're ready to shoot.
Right.
So just come up with little things
this
like
is
that.
this is how not to do it, right? Let's just go over this one time. So here it is on the table. Here it is on the table, and you pick it up like this, right? And so your finger is just in here.
Yep.
You didn't make a gun. Make a gun. Take a gun. If you do that 100% of the time, you cannot screw it up.
Right.
And when we talk about these safety rules, you would have to break all 3 of these safety rules to hurt somebody,
Right.
right? You would have
Absolutely.
to break all of them. You can't just have your finger on the trigger and hurt yourself with that.
Right.
If it's pointed in a safe direction, right?
Right. And the going to the safe direction part of it, I find it's obvious, right? Point your firearm in a safe direction. So I'm going to pretend that is my safe direction. But we find so many people that are handling firearms for the first time and they're struggling with maybe locking the slide back. That safe direction ends up being turned towards the person next to them, and now it's not in a safe direction. And it happens a lot because they're struggling with their workspace. So when you're working with your firearm, your workspace is not out here, it's here. But your body can always turn to accommodate whatever the need may be. So if you're struggling with locking your slide, you don't point it this way at the person next to you, you move your body and lock the slide this way. And I kind of help them get that concept by, think of the target as being your magnet. And the muzzle of your gun being the front of the gun is your metal. Metal and a magnet. That does not move away from the magnet.
Good one.
So no matter what, you're wanting to do this, it can't because it's magnetized.
Right.
So visualize that and it will make you think differently. Bring your workspace
So you're talking
back.
about keeping your gun in a safe direction.
Right.
So many times newbies, this is one of the bad things, right? Wow, did you see that shot? How many times do we see that?
And how many
right?
times are we like, oh, okay,
Right? And you hope that their finger's not on the trigger because their sights are off target, so their finger shouldn't be on the trigger,
Right.
but still they should always maintain that safe direction. So what would be a better way to do that? How about this?
Yep.
Right? How about this?
Right.
You can squat down.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want as
Just
long
that
as you
magnet
keep
doesn't
that.
move.
Right.
Doesn't move.
Right.
I actually tell new shooters for the first time and say, listen, you're shooting for the first time. You will get excited. Trust me. You're going to be like,
Trust
I just
me.
did that. So whatever you do, you remember what I told you about the magnet. That's your safe direction. You do not move. You get excited. Finger off the trigger. One hand up in the air. Yeah!
Right.
You know, and if you
Right.
need me to grab the gun because you got a little nervous, then I will do that for you. But it's funny because we see all these things and we see the excitement, right? We see so many women that come to the range, they're scared, they're nervous, they don't know what to expect because they've been misinformed about the firearm being the bad thing. And it's demonized. And really, honestly, it's a tool. It's no different than a pen, a pencil, a heel. Any of those items could potentially turn into a weapon if needed, right? Sharp. That's sharp. You know that?
Oh, yeah.
So, but
my toenails. I'm kidding.
That's because I'm not there
edit that
anymore
out.
for you.
Yeah, because Kerrie's
can't
not
believe
doing
that.
manicures, pedicures anymore. So yeah, so now my toenails are a weapon, just so you know.
Okay. What's the other safety rule?
What's the other safety rule? Okay, so always point your gun in a safe direction. What is a safe direction?
That's a good question. Would it be over there where
Kim is?
No.
No, we need Kim.
Would it be over there where there's somebody in the other office?
No.
Would it be down there where there's a basement and nobody's there?
Sure.
Would it be up here because there's a second floor?
Where people live? No.
No.
But
So,
if this was a building that didn't have an upstairs, the ceiling would be perfect.
right. So safe direction is not, not willing to destroy anything you're pointing it at.
Right.
So
So everyone
could be
says-
a TV, a cow, it could be a person, it could be your favorite aunt's vase.
Right. So everyone says, well, downrange is a safe direction. Absolutely.
Yep.
Until a deer runs across the range.
Then
now that's not safe.
ceasefire.
Right.
Then ceasefire, and then you work on it. But
Right.
so before we go, we talked about so many things. Are we missing anything? We did the
The
blue
third
guns
safety rule, keep the gun unloaded
until ready to
shoot.
use. Yep.
But we only have a minute left.
Yeah. But all these things are super, super important. We hope you have a wonderful holiday and you be safe. Pay attention to your surroundings. And you know, again, if you have questions and comments and suggestions, please email us because sistersinarms2022@gmail.com. We're always looking for new content and different ideas. And sometimes somebody coming from the outside in, so to speak, might have something that we're not thinking about. So
Or just any comments from this episode.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. Good, bad, indifferent. We'd love to hear from you.
nothing about her toenails, though. Just
No, nothing about the toenails. I'm kidding. I feel like I need to zoom
she
in
has
on my
lovely
toes.
Oh my dear God. I love you, girl. Happy
I love
holiday.
you. Merry
Happy New
Christmas.
Year. Merry Christmas.
Be safe and stay vigilant.